This is the Cruise FM Out of Tune podcast. Here is Stacey and Curtis.
Okay, episode 10, season 2 of the Out of Tune podcast. My name is Stacey.
My name is Curtis.
And we are going to travel back to our youth.
Yes.
And I guess this might travel us back a little bit further than, like teenager years. But we've talked about being a child before. And I thought we would discuss babysitting.
Yeah.
And I have a big grin on my face.
I'm excited. I feel like you're going to have to take the lead on this. My babysitting stories are pretty unplentiful.
Okay.
I don't have a lot.
Well, and that's what obviously makes us all so different. I was babysat.
Yes.
And I was a babysitter. Mm-hmm. So I had both, and some kids didn't
You're a student of the game.
I know it all. I know the back end, the front end, everything in between. But some kids just didn't get babysat by people. They either, were on their own or they went to, a daycare or something.
Yeah.
But my life revolved around being taken care of by other people. And then me taking care of other people's children.
Circle of life, Stacey.
It is. And so I was babysat by my grandma's neighbor, and her name was Dorothy.
Yeah.
Cutest little thing, this diabetic, like a sprite. She was so tiny, and she just flew around the room. And I always remember she was constantly worried about her blood sugar. So she was eating random things. And anyway, I had no idea what diabetes was back then. And she would come over and babysit us. And this is me and my brother. My brother and I are 4 years apart. So we probably would have been 10 and 6, something like that. And I just remember that we would have to watch what she was watching on TV, and it was Matlock. She was obsessed with Matlock, and she'd be yelling at the TV and talking to us about it, and just so passionate about Matlock that is just, and she babysat us, but then I would see her when I was at my grandma's house next door to her. And she was just such a funny little character. She was so small. It was almost are you a kid? Do you have a growth problem? I don't know. It was just so strange to have this little lady involved in our lives. And she would babysit us and then, drive home when mom and dad got back. And so that was one of my first, I want to say, babysitters. And then I think sometimes when my parents were just desperate to, get away, they would get the teenager from across the alley.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And I think her name was Jennifer. I don't even remember. But she had boys over.
Hell yeah, Jen.
Right?
Let's go, Jen.
And as children, I don't remember if my parents were no boys, help yourself to the chips, we'll be home by 10. I don't know if they set out guidelines or regulations or rules or anything, but I just remember the doorbell ringing and being a little panicked of oh, who's here?
Yeah.
And it was this guy, this stranger that my brother and I did not know. And he hung out with her, and it was just based I feel like my brother and I just sat there staring at them as in what is happening? Why aren't you playing with us?
That's
Who's
fantastic.
this guy? And it was just that, because I think there's a bit of a stereotypical thing when it comes to babysitters from, it's no boy. And that's what she was doing. She was doing what they do, which was having boys over.
And sending you two to bed at 7.
Maybe. I don't even know. And I do remember her eating food. I don't remember if it was chips or whatever. But we had her a few times. And it was just weird. Dorothy was fine. She was sweet. She knew us really well. This teenage girl gave 2 shits about us, quite frankly, and was just putting in the time until my parents got home.
Until the boys came over.
There
was no Matlock sessions that night.
No.
No.
And who knows what happened once we went to bed.
Yeah, I do.
I'm eluding. And maybe they made out on the couch. I don't know. Maybe they took it to one level further.
I would love to hear from Jen now. Looking back.
Yeah. And if she remembers us.
Yeah.
Because I fast forward to the future, I babysat for quite a few regular kids all the time for years.
Yeah.
And I saw one of them in public in the wild, and I was oh my God, and I wanted to go up to them and be I babysat you, but then I didn't want to be that weird person who does that.
I thought you were going to say that 9 months later I babysat Jen's kid. No.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was my babysitter life of babysitting. Did you have do you remember a random person coming?
My mom had a daycare.
Oh, Oh, okay.
We never really had people come over and babysit us. It was grandma if my parents ever went out, which was rare that both went out and we had a sitter, which was grandma. But my mom having a daycare in her home opened up opportunities for me to look after these kids at their house.
Yes.
Those were really my only babysitting
So you
gigs.
did babysit.
I did babysit,
Okay.
yeah. I took the babysitter's course.
Nice.
I remember it was a 2-night thing.
Where did you take it?
It's a French school now over on the east side. It's just by
Elementary?
Market Mall. Yeah, that's where.
Alvin Buckwold.
Was it?
That's where the French one is, by Market Mall.
Yeah, okay.
Like elementary school.
Yeah. He was there that night, and I just remember there was a sketchy guy in our class. This is my only memory of it, and he failed the final, and he went outside and he lit his test on fire. Oh, he lit his test on fire after he failed, and we were like, yeah, it's probably for the better that
For
you
the
failed.
best. Jeez, that's dark.
And then, like, did that matter, having your babysitter certificate?
No.
No, I don't think it did.
I think
that was
what
a
it
cash
was,
grab.
it was almost,
Yeah.
cash grab from the Red Cross and St. John's Ambulance, but also like a rite of passage.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I agreed with was the first aid.
Sure.
You know, like learning first aid for little ones.
Yep.
In general was really helpful. I was pumped because it was at the high school. It was at Marion Graham.
Oh.
So I got to go to the high school
Yeah.
to take mine. But yeah, it's not like, what do you do when the child asks for a snack? Do you cut them a cucumber or make them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't that kind of stuff.
No, especially
It was-
back in the 80s.
No, God,
no
no.
one was cutting cucumbers for
No,
kids.
exactly. It was basically like, can you resuscitate them if they die
Yeah.
while they're taking care of them? So yeah, I took the babysitting course as well. And I was like dying to take this course because
Yeah.
I, growing up, had a lot of little baby cousins that I hung out with. When my brother and I were younger, we went to a babysitter for the summer holidays and before and after school when my mom went to work. So she would drop us off at the sitter's house in the morning. We'd have breakfast there, walk to the school. And then over the summer holidays, she took care of us. So I was always, like being looked after by somebody. And shout out to Darlene. I don't know if you're listening. Probably not.
Probably.
She was the best daycare lady for the summer holidays. She would set up obstacle courses in the backyard with like slip and slides and hula hoops. And she had kids. She had a baby while she was, we were going to her place. So I got to take care of her baby for her. I loved babies. Like, I think I was just destined to babysit. And so she was fantastic for the summertime. We always had something to do. That ate up a lot of our summer. And then I went on to babysit her kids later on before I took my course. So I was definitely watching children before I was probably allowed to. And I don't know if there's a legal...
I don't know. My wife tells a story, and I feel like it's gotten bigger throughout the years. The more she tells it, and I bug her about it. But there was a time where she was in way over her head. She was looking after like 5 kids under 5, and one had a leg cast.
Oh, no.
And that's her go-to babysitting story, where she like kind of goes away somewhere mentally and rocks back and forth a little bit. And it's like, it was not. It was a busy day. It was a busy day.
I would also like to just sort of point out that kids don't really get, I feel like kids don't get babysat anymore.
No.
It's so different. And I don't know if it's like we rely more on family now or maybe parents are going outside. I don't know. In my circle of friends, I don't hear about like 16-year-old girls or 15-year-old girls or kids watching their children. And I don't know what it is. But back then, I was 12 years old and I was caring for 3 children and one of them was a newborn.
Yeah.
And these people would just completely trust these young kids to actually like care for their children for sometimes like a long period of time. I would babysit for like a full day sometimes. And it was like feeding them, taking them places. And I was 12.
Yeah.
And
I think it's a trust thing now too, where people are just,
yeah,
there's not, I think about hiring some like teenage boy to come look after my daughter. I'm like, no, I'm sorry.
Well, and the boy-girl thing is different too.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I babysat the kids that came to my mom's daycare. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I ever would have got work, even back then. I don't see
like
a lot
male
of like,
babysitter.
Yeah,
it's sexist, man.
yeah, but there's enough history that maybe it should be,
Definitely. But you
which
also
is kind
had
of scary.
But you
know?
had a relationship with those kids
Yeah.
too, where you knew them, right?
Yeah, and the parents knew me because I was always at the house, and
Yeah.
it's not a big deal. But
Yeah.
I just think about hiring some random dude that, I mean, I guess you'd have to know somebody who knew somebody even back then.
Yeah.
But I just don't see that advertised anymore either. I see.
And the other thing that's changed too is the rate, the amount
Sure.
of money. And again, I was babysitting in like the late 80s, early 90s. And there were some families that paid me $2 an hour. And the one guy was paying me $2 an hour. His kids were whatever. They had cloth diapers, and I had to change cloth diapers, which was disgusting.
Yeah.
He asked me for change on paying me. I think it was like I should have been paid $8, and he only had a $10
Yeah.
bill. He's like, "Do you have change?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me? I'm not
$8.
giving you $2. Give me a $10
Yeah.
bill, you cheapskate." So they paid me $2, and then I had one family that paid me $4 because they had the three boys, which were a handful. So that was, I felt like I was like raking it in.
Yeah.
At $4. The rest of them were about $3. And whereas now, like, what do you pay?
I have no idea.
Minimum wage in Saskatchewan is what, $15 an hour right now, currently?
I wouldn't even know what to charge someone at this point, but it would be a lot. And then on the other side of it too, I think about these teenagers babysitting now. It's like, well, none of the perks are there. You don't know if there's nanny cams. You don't know. You could be being recorded the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I never obviously did anything. I wasn't Jen. I didn't have girls over or whatever,
Yeah.
but the kids go to bed and you're eating their food. You're sprawled out on the couch.
And just watching TV.
Just watching TV.
Yeah.
And the fact that somebody's monitoring that is just a big old nope.
Absolutely. Minimum wage is $15 an hour. So if you have somebody over to watch your kid, do you tell them that you'll pay them like $5 an hour? And are they going to think you're ripping them off? Like, it's just a weird
Yeah.
situation. I don't know. I don't know if a babysitter is ever going to take care of my daughter,
Yeah.
but paying them $5 an hour seems like, I guess, reasonable. But $15 an hour, and if you're gone for like 4 hours,
That's a
good
lot.
chunk of money in addition to whatever you happen to be doing,
Yeah.
right? If you're going out for dinner or whatever. So yeah, the pay thing was crazy, and I'm sure what would the minimum, like, because we weren't making minimum wage.
No, and you weren't getting minimum
Minimum wage
wage back in the
in
day.
Saskatchewan in 1989,
It's probably like $4.75.
$4.50. Good guess.
Hey.
Okay, so I was actually making minimum wage.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't think I ever was. I always thought I was getting ripped off. But it was, yeah, okay, so I guess that's sort of reasonable. But I just can't fathom paying somebody $15 an hour right now to watch my kid.
I remember babysitting one night. This is really my only babysitting memory. I remember, the kids my mom babysat going to their house on a Saturday afternoon or a Friday night and just putting them to bed and sitting there and eating all their junk food. But I was babysitting for this one family, and they had just moved into a new house, and their living room was kind of like 5 steps down from the main level, which had like the kitchen.
Sunken living room.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
But it had like the wall in the sunken living room, the 3 walls were all windows, and there was no blinds, and there was like a forest
Oh my
behind
God.
them. And I just remember having almost my first ever panic attack there, just sitting there being like, I don't like this feeling, and getting up and just like sitting in the kitchen. And this
Yeah.
is way before cell phones, so I was just like sitting
Sitting
in the kitchen,
alone.
trying to get away from the darkness.
Remember we talked in one of the future or past episodes, 10, I think it was, about what you're scared of.
Yeah.
One of mine was babysitting at the neighbor's house in the dark, seeing coyotes in the backyard.
Yeah.
So same kind of thing, that, sense of being alone and
Just-
like actual kid fears, but you're also like taking care of other kids.
Yeah, like I was probably 13, maybe 14,
Mm-hmm.
and because they were out late. I remember them coming back at like 12:30 and being and asking me, "Are they still up?" I was like, "What are you talking about?
Yeah.
This is later than I go to bed, like 5 and 4. What are you? Of course they're
Yeah,
asleep."
we've been just, eating, smoking cigarettes this whole time.
I was like, and in my head, I was like, I got to tell you, man, I feel like 100 things are watching me when I'm in that room, and I don't know if that's
kidding.
just kid paranoia, but I've been in other places like that. And I didn't get that feeling, but I got that feeling there. And that's a very vivid memory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, being, like I said, you're responsible for these children, but you're also home by yourself.
Yeah.
At someone else's house.
And you watch these horror movies where the babysitters get attacked.
Of course.
And you have this like responsibility to put your life on the line for other people's kids.
I know. It's weird.
I don't like that.
Nope.
I mean, I would, obviously, but I don't want to die for someone else's kids.
Yeah, no,
Leave me
thank
alone,
you.
Mike Myers.
Yes.
Right?
And like, I don't know, did I even know about 911 back in the day? Was it around?
Oh, yeah. I remember when that was a thing because I thought I was like such an adult telling my parents, I'm like, why would they make it 911 and not 211 when you have a rotary phone and every second counts?
That's a great point.
That's the 9.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a very good point. 211 would have been way easier.
That half a second.
Or in the UK, it's 999.
Yeah.
That's easier. But no, not on a rotary. My God. Terrible choice, guys. Okay, so that another random thought that I had, I babysat for a family who the dad would pick me up to go to their place and babysit, which it was down the road. It wasn't really, I for sure could have walked. He would come pick me up and he would drive me home after babysitting. And a lot of the times they went out for entertainment.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, I was like, is he drunk driving me home? Drunk, like drunk driving the babysitter home after.
Being alone with a dad is also kind of weird by today's standards.
Today's standards, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. And
he'd been drinking.
possibly. I don't think I ever like smelled alcohol or
Sure.
anything, but they had been out like the Christmas party the one
Yeah.
time. They were out late.
Yeah.
And they drove me home. And I always appreciated the gesture because it was nice. Nobody wants to walk.
Yeah.
And I'm sure my dad could have come and got me, but he always drove me home, which was weird.
Your dad was probably drinking too, so.
Yeah, maybe.
I
can't get you
It was
either.
a flip of a coin at that point.
Which drunk dad will take me home? And then because I was babysitting for a woman who ran a daycare, word of mouth was crazy. And I feel like we've touched on this in other podcasts too. She would tell her people who she was a daycare provider for, I've got this girl, Stacy, she's great. So I, all of a sudden, I had to buy a little calendar.
Yeah, you did.
Pocket calendar and keep track because I was so busy. I was making I want to say probably $400 a month.
Yeah, you were telling me that, which is insane. Like, how old were you pocketing $400 a month?
12, 13 bucks or 12, 13 bucks.
You were 12?
13
Yeah.
years. Yeah. And so at that
a lot of money.
age,
That year, too.
I was buying my own clothes when I was probably 13.
That's
and so my
amazing.
parents were like, oh, she's off
Yeah,
the
right?
books. We don't have to pay for her. And I would babysit for, like I said, a couple where it was like every Tuesday we have a class that we go to. So they were my Tuesday people. And then I would have the Wednesday, Friday people, blah, blah, blah. And then I would have the every weekend couple who were like 100% we are leaving our home on the weekend. And I remember going to a new person's, and that was the other thing, like brand new person. It's like, hi, Catherine, I'm coming over to take care of your kids. And she's giving me the lay of the land, showing me the house. And the dog just started aggressively humping my leg.
Oh, no.
So hard. His claws dug into my back of my leg. It was the most awkward and disgusting and uncomfortable situation. It was really weird.
I don't even know. I feel like I should comment on that, but I don't know what to say.
You don't have to.
You're meeting her for the first time, and the dog is just going to town.
Yeah, and she's ignoring the whole thing, and I'm like,
that's normal. We're just gonna keep going like this is a normal thing.
and finally I kicked him off, comically off my leg when her back was turned. It was very awkward. But then I also babysat for my direct neighbors during the summertime. So for the full day, and the mom was a great mom. She was always the healthy food for the kids, lots of activities. So in the morning, she would drop us off at Wanniskewin or something, and I'd have to spend the day there with them, and she'd pick me up at the end of the day. Work day.
That's dangerous.
It's so much time, Curtis, with children.
Yeah.
Or she would drop me off at Kinsman Park, and we would spend the day playing. She'd provide all the food, and
Sure, but
that's a long time with kids.
and for no shelter. Yeah.
Well, there was we went over to the Mendel, walked around the
but
gallery.
even just bathrooms and stuff.
Yeah.
you don't have the safety of a house.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty crazy.
And
I hadn't heard of that before.
yeah, I hadn't either. She was the first person that ever did that. And it was the first time I babysat for like full days, that sort of thing. And then I remember her little boy, his name was, I don't remember his name, or maybe I shouldn't say it, but he got his finger stuck in a lawn chair. Ooh. And that's the other factor is like, has something ever bad happened while you've been babysitting for somebody, like choking or, you know, vomiting? But he got his finger stuck in a lawn chair. It was this almost like a lattice pattern of little tiny squares, and he stuck his finger in, completely stuck, swelling on the other side. Ooh. Luckily, I'm next door, so I was like, Dad, I phoned my parents. Dad comes over with a little hacksaw and cuts him out of the chair. And that was like the most exciting thing that had happened to him ever. So it was a pretty memorable little moment. I'm just glad he didn't lose his finger.
I remember once in high school, my girlfriend at the time was babysitting, and she called me and she was crying because the kid had been crying for like 3 hours straight. And she's like, "Can I talk to your mom?" And I was like, "Okay." So my girlfriend was talking to my mom, and she's like, "What do I do? Like, I mean, like he won't stop crying." I just remember thinking that was a fun moment.
Yeah.
So I guess her parents were gone or something. I don't know. But I was like, my mom.
Solving problems.
Solving problems with my girlfriend. This is a fun
cute.
little exchange.
That's cute.
Yeah.
And then partially too that, you know, I think made this whole babysitting thing a big deal for me was the Babysitters Club books.
I was going to say, when you got your little book.
My calendar.
Your calendar. I was like, that is very Babysitters Club. My daughter and I just read the first Babysitters Club over the Christmas break last year.
Okay.
I guess this year.
And?
No, last year. Yeah. Because she was supposed to do a big report about it. And so we spent all of the Christmas break reading this and making notes. And she was very nervous about it because it had to be in French.
Oh, wow.
And it was just a breathing into a paper bag moment day after day of, okay, we're going to get this. We're going to get through this together. And then she switched schools and didn't have to do it.
Oh, dang.
But I remember reading the book. It was pretty good. Some adult themes.
Well, and it was... it was very like, it was fiction, obviously.
Sure.
But it was just, you know, this group of girls, they all did babysitting, and they used to, some of them were like really prepared, and they would make like games and crafts and stuff. And I did that at one point too, where I remember making my own Jeopardy board out of a big cardboard box, and it had little flaps that you could open, and I would ask them questions, and I would give them prizes and stuff. And then I was like, why am I doing all of this? And then I became boring babysitter. Like, I would bring that game with me everywhere, like every kids place I went.
You start off strong,
and then you're like, wait a minute, we can just sit here and watch TV. Why am I thinking about all these questions before, you know, going to somebody's house?
But those kids remember that.
They probably did.
Yeah.
And I was bringing like treats as prizes. And the one mom was like, I can't have you bringing treats anymore. They can't stop thinking. Like they were so obsessed with the treats that I was giving them. She's like, please don't bring treats anymore. I was like, sorry.
Making me look bad, Cooper.
Right?
I had that moment of like, oh, apparently I did make a difference at one point with this family down the street, because the daughter grew up to be like an artist. And the mom was like, well, yeah, like look at her stuff. And she showed me pictures, and she was like, you would come over and babysit like after school and draw, because that was my thing when I was a kid. I wanted to be a comic book artist, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, look at all these pictures that she just would keep your art and try to redraw your art after you were gone. I was like, that's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
You had an influence on an artist?
I had an influence. I don't know if she's a famous artist, but that's definitely a hobby.
We'll take it.
We've long since lost track of each other.
Yeah.
But I remember that because I was probably just out of high school.
Yeah.
And the mom was like flabbergasted. She had no idea that I had actually set this girl on this path of art. Yeah. So, yeah, that was a kind of a cool feeling.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. But in my head at the time, I was like, oh, God, another 2 hours. Like, I'm just going to draw pictures. I'm just going to, we're at the table, we're drawing, I'm looking at the clock.
That was always, I remember that, because like usually the parents would be like, we'll be back by 6.
Yeah.
And you'd be just counting down the minutes until 6 o'clock
Then the phone would ring at 5:55.
We're going to be another couple hours. Is that okay? And you're just like dying inside thinking of the money.
Yeah.
And it was worse at night. I remember those Christmas party babysitting shifts where they're definitely coming back like midnight, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
and you're so tired.
Yep.
But you don't want to have them like walk in on you asleep.
Yeah.
So you're trying your damnedest to stay awake. And I did definitely get woken up a few times.
Oof, that's not
by
a good feeling.
The parents. But like,
Yeah.
it was midnight. Come on. I'm a child. I'm a baby.
Called Jen. Send your boyfriend over, Jen. I need to stay awake.
Entertain me.
Jen. That's still my favorite story. That's something that like only happens in movies.
Yeah.
I don't know of anyone, even like my female friends in elementary and high school, who took a career path like you, just babysat constantly everywhere. When we joked about it, they were like, "Oh God, no! Oh my God!" Like that would kill your career if the word got out that like you had a boy over.
Yeah.
Like that's a trust thing. That would tank it.
Well, and that's the thing is you had to maintain a reputation.
You did, yeah.
And I tried as best as I could.
Oh.
I remember too, for the first time, I think I also talked about this on the podcast, but the boys that I babysat for, their favorite thing to eat was Wonder Bread with Cheese Whiz on it. Mm-hmm. And I remember, because there was two of them and me, we ate an entire loaf one time of just Wonder Bread with Cheese Whiz on it, slice after slice after slice.
Living your best life.
Living my best life. And then there were the parents too who would prepare for you to come, and they'd be like, we got chips, we got pop, we got ice cream, blah, blah, blah. And it was just like the best because it was there for you to eat. And then I babysat for a family that was, what do they call that now? An ingredient household?
Sure.
Where it's just like, oh, we've got some chocolate chips, we've got some flaked coconut, we've got pretzels, no actual processed snacks of any kind.
You're just sitting there eating chocolate chips out of the bag.
I ate chocolate chips and pretzels in a bowl because I was just like, this is all. And I love sweet and salty. But it was just so lame. Everything was healthy and organic. And I just wanted like chips and a Diet Coke, please.
How do you not have chips and pop ready for the babysitter?
I know.
Oh.
And that was like what I mean. Some people got it. They were like, we're ready for you. We got the fun stuff. Have a good time. And the others were just like, hi, bye, out the door.
I would be absolutely fascinated to talk to a 2026 teenage babysitter right now and just see how it's changed, what you have to have in writing, you know, like how it's
for
different.
Protections,
Yeah. And the rate, the agreement, what you need from the parents to protect yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
And also like what they do now with them. Do they all just sit on the couch on their phones together?
Yeah.
Because we played and we did stuff. And obviously we watched some TV. But, you know, it was actually like entertaining these children as well, which was annoying. But that's why you were there, was to, you know, do that. It's got to be so, so different.
Yeah, I would be fascinated to see what it's like. And if it's still word of mouth, or if you make an online post and actual strangers reach out to you in the area.
I saw on my Facebook page a mom who I'm friends with was like, so-and-so is super excited. Yep. She just got her babysitting certificate. If you know anybody, blah, blah, blah. So like, it's still word of mouth. It's just different. It's so, so different.
I don't feel, and we talk about this ad nauseum on this cast, I don't feel like our parents had that fear. They're like, oh, someone named Carol's on the phone. Stacy, are you available Friday? And you'd be like, sure. And they'd be like, okay, what's your address? What's your last name? And then you would leave, and then there would be a thing on a Post-it note on the fridge that says Carol and the phone number. That was it. Yeah. Stacy's gone. The address, maybe.
To a stranger's home.
Stranger's home.
To take care of these children.
Who knows if that's the real phone number? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God, it's so weird. At the same time, though, based on like what I said about how much you would potentially get paid, why aren't they babysitting more?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's very strange to me. Maybe I need to phone back my girlfriends with kids and be like, did you hire random babysitters?
Yeah. What was the rate?
Yeah. Because I remembered too
Did they turn something into content while they were babysitting?
Yeah, exactly. Made the kids do a TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
I don't know if I have a ton more, like, you know, I don't have any crazy babysitting stories of people, you know, taking care of me. Nothing crazy happened. It's just babysitting for me was such a huge part of my life for so many years, caring for children, that it's weird to me when people don't have that in their lives. And I guess you have to want to babysit kids. You don't just, maybe you get forced to, I don't know. Yeah. By other people's parents. No, you need to go watch the neighbor's kids. I don't want to.
I look at my own kids and my 20-year-old son, that would be his version of hell, looking after a young kid.
Yeah.
He's just not built like that.
But would your daughter,
He's
like, does
quiet
she...
and neat, and there would be nothing he wants about that.
Yeah.
My daughter is 10, and she could probably, in a few years, handle it.
But
she thrives in chaos.
Is there any discussion of like, ooh, when I start because that's how it was too. It was like this rite of passage of like, you finally got to the age where you could do this, and it was like, hooray.
Her best friend is taking the babysitter course as we talk.
Oh,
that's where she
okay.
is yesterday and today.
Yeah.
But she's got 2 younger siblings.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think they have a pretty big family, so I think she's got clients lined up already. She's not starting fresh. Like, hey, you don't know me.
Yeah.
Let me come over to your house and look after your kids. It's
I'm a
so
good
foreign.
person.
It's such a crazy thing to talk aloud now in 2026.
Yep. Strange concepts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want me to look after your children, just kidding.
Yeah.
Please don't phone me.
I just want to hear from Jen. You started strong.
I know.
That's just such a horror movie. Like, you're in a horror movie.
I know.
You're being babysat. The teenage girl is dismissing you and bringing her boyfriend over. We each had a horror movie, and then my thing with all the being watched from the forest behind the house.
Well, and remember your dream that you shared that you had, or was that you?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
recurring.
Yeah,
yeah.
Wow.
Terrifying stuff.
Yeah. See, everybody likes these mansions that back a forest until you don't have blinds, until you're there at night. And you're like, no, this isn't for me. I would rather have a 1-bedroom apartment and be safe.
No windows whatsoever. Anyway,
babysitting.
That's the babysitting episode 10 of season 2. Sometimes we just talk about other things that aren't necessarily home runs. But that's okay.
I thought this was a great episode.
It was just weird. Because it's one of those ones, like, remember when you brought up the whole, what lyrics?
Sure. And we're going to have that.
Exactly.
We can't be on the same page every single time.
Exactly.
I was excited for this one because I like when you are excited about a topic. When you bring a topic to me, I'm like, I know this is going to be a great show.
Because she actually cares.
Well, and it's not, because sometimes I get really wrapped up and I talk, and then you just kind of have to wait for me to stop and, okay.
I get you.
Yeah.
But yeah, babysitting, huge part of my life. And I just want to go back to that sense of freedom of having your own money. Because I did not come from an allowance household. I came from a just do that for us because that's what you do. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't have had any kind of income, money at all. Mm-hmm. And so, I was able to go out shopping with my friends and buy my own clothes at that age. And that was pretty stinking cool.
Yeah. And
I had a bank account. Like, it was
I had a paper route, but I wasn't bringing in that money.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like the Star Phoenix. It was like the weekend. Twice a week you deliver it.
Yeah.
And it was pretty easy.
Or those flyer packets, which was just like a big old...
Put on the old Sony Walkman and get my steps in, and it was fun.
Thing. Yeah.
But I was not pulling in babysitting money.
No, that was pretty lucrative.
Yeah.
And tax-free. Under the table.
Right?
No taxes.
I wonder what that looks like too. The government's got their grubby paws on that, I bet.
I don't know. You can still probably just do under the table.
Sure, but they're watching.
Who knows? Yeah, just one more example of how incredibly weird things are now.
That would be a great podcast. People call in and just tell their babysitting stories.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's tons.
I'm sure there's probably, but you haven't done it.
No, I was a good,
Sitting
honest
with Stacey,
babysitter.
Guest number 1, Jen.
Yeah. I wonder that was the other thing. I wonder how old she was. Like, we were 10 and 6. Was she 13? So she's only 3 years older than me.
That's very weird. Right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we might go to the same school.
Yeah.
If we were in high school together, you might be in the same school with me. Here's one other quick little addition is running into children you have, like I said, babysat before. I ran into one of them at the bar. Mm-hmm. Because again, I wasn't that much older than them. And I saw them at the bar and I was like, oh, this is so
Aren't
weird.
you 10?
I changed your diaper.
Aren't you 10?
So strange. On that note, this has been episode 10 of the Out of Touch.
Why does it always get weird?
The Out of Touch podcast this week? Maybe? I don't know. We'll do this again next week and there'll be a better topic, I promise.
We can't do it yet, but I'm so excited for Hot Takes 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did we agree to be quarterly for that?
I think so. It's too soon. We just did it like a month ago.
Yeah, we did just do it very
And we
recently.
butchered it. We forgot the sound effect.
Oh, my God. That was shocking. How could we have?
That was a hot take in itself. Be
was.
prepared.
I will be more prepared this time. Okay.
That was on both of us. That was your like 14-hour day. And you were like glazed over. You're like, let's go. You're like,
And we were doing the back and forth thing without the cool sound effect.
you're like, hot take. The Berlin Wall was rad. I was like, Stacy, what? What are you even talking about?
All right, man. Thanks as always.
Bye.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Cruise FM Out of Tune podcast. Check back for new episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at cruisefm.com.